Welcome to Melaka, Asia's most European city. The entire city of Melaka is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and it boasts many arts, crafts, coffee shops. It's a great place to visit if you're here in Malaysia. Melaka is actually an older city than Kuala Lumpur and it hosts a very rich history. So we are right next to the Melaka Straits here, which is where traders would have passed by for centuries. And so the Chinese came here and you see a really strong Chinese presence. There's a Chinatown here, there's also a little India, but Chinatown is really prevalent. There are lots of Buddhist temples and things like that. But what makes Melaka so different is in 1511 the Portuguese landed here. They were in India first, in Goa, and then they came down here to Melaka, and so they colonised the city. Just over 100 years later, 1641, the Dutch came here and took over from the Portuguese. So there's a very strong Dutch influence, as you can see with these canals here. Am I in Amsterdam? Necessary today. So hot. I have to say that it feels so good to be here after 5 days in Kuala Lumpur. Kuala Lumpur is lovely, but it is hectic, it is chaotic, it is a massive city with 7 million people. Melaka isn't like that. Melaka is chill, it's nice, it's relaxing, you can sit out by the canal, enjoy a drink. I really like the vibe here, I have to say, I really do like it. And I mean, you can obviously see the European influence here, but now I'm going to go and check out some forts and churches where you can see it a bit more. I have to say, this church behind me here, the Church of St. Francis Xavier, looks a bit crooked. Is it just me? Is it a bit off? Maybe because it's so old? So I just learned that the reason that there's so much red everywhere here in Melaka is because red was the colour of the stone that was available during the time of the Malay Sultanate. So 15th century, this place was thriving. Port city, lots of trade, things like that, and it was all red, the red city, and they've kept that red theme going ever since. Behind me here you can see the Portuguese fort, which was completed in 1588. Not too long after, when the Dutch arrived in 1641, they took over the fort, followed by the British, who occupied here until Malaysia got its independence in 1963. So as you can see, the fort was used for defensive purposes. It's got lots of cannons up here, and unfortunately a lot of it is in ruins now, but it's still, some of it is preserved very well, so it's still well worth a visit. Behind me here is St. Paul's Church, and this is the oldest Christian church in Southeast Asia. Amazing. So this church dates back to 1521 AD. Let's check it out. It doesn't have a roof anymore, but I do believe that these are the original walls. Oh, it's a lot cooler in here as well. Ooh, that's better. It looks to me like the windows are still intact anyway. So 1521, this would have been built by the Portuguese not long after they arrived here in Melaka. As I said, first Christian church in Southeast Asia. So I'm here chatting to a local Malacan. This is Mohammed Daniel, and is there anything you'd like to tell the people about Melaka?
Actually, Melaka is a small city in Malaysia. It's a historical city.
Yeah, absolutely,
yeah, I think that's all I can say.
It's very historical, yeah. This church behind us is super old. Yeah.
And it's so hot.
It's so hot, it's so hot. Thank you so much, really nice to meet you. Behind me here is Melaka Fortress, again built by the Portuguese, but nowadays I think it's turned into some sort of theme park. But I was looking online, there was a lot of information about the theme park. It would also explain why Pikachu was here. it's pretty clear by now that Melaka is a very historic city, and also there is no shortage of museums in the area. So behind me here is the Sultanate Palace Museum. I also saw a museum of the history of Islam around the world and Malay culture. Really interesting stuff. There was a stamp museum, very random. I probably won't be going into any of the museums on this trip. There's just too much else to see out in the open. But definitely, if museums are your thing, this is the spot for you. When you see buildings like this one, you realise that no, in fact, this is Asia. Also the heat. I don't think they get this in the Netherlands. 33 degrees today, lads. I must say I'm pleasantly surprised that there's more to this city than just being a European looking city. There are so many temples here, a lot of Buddhist culture, a lot of Chinese culture, and you know, that's so interesting. That's what I came to Asia to see, not the Netherlands, not Portugal. I've been there already, but this is incredible. I was speaking to a man on the bus on the way in, and he was Chinese, and he was visiting this temple because it's celebrating its 350-year anniversary over the next 4 days. Isn't that amazing? Melaka was known as the Venice of the East, mainly because of the trading that happened here, but I mean, you can see the resemblance, can't you? Behind me here is Christchurch, Melaka, one of the oldest churches in Southeast Asia in total. 1753 is the year of this church, which makes it very, very early for Malaysia, especially seeing as Kuala Lumpur wasn't founded until the 1830s, didn't get a lot of its infrastructure till the 1890s. So Melaka really is a historic city. I must say as well, this place really reminds me of parts of South Africa for some reason. I haven't even been to South Africa, but just from what I've seen in pictures and things like that, I guess again that is the Dutch influence, isn't it? Very similar. I'm just heading into the night market now because I am starving. I can't wait to see what they have. And Melaka is all lit up. What an incredible city. Completely different city by night. I love them both, but this is beautiful. So I just got some dim sum. Looks really good. 4 for €1. So let's see. Looks like this. It's all chicken as well. Good. That's delicious. So that's it for Melaka, ladies and gents. Yes, it has a massive European influence, and that's really interesting and fun to see here in Asia, but it's so much more than that. The Chinese influence here, I totally underestimated that. It's really cool to see as well. This city is just amazing. There's a really nice cafe culture, the canal is so peaceful, and it's just a really laid back place to spend a couple of days after the hecticness of Kuala Lumpur. So I'll see you in the next place.